Let's see this. 13 minutes. Elad.
I know what you're wondering. What is true and what is false?
The Witch Queen is an unsettling mystery. Our biggest foe, Savathun, has our grandest tool, the light.
Just paying off narrative threads that we play.
Dude, the Guardian just died.
Just paying off narrative.
Dude, Savathun just killed that Guardian.
Way back in Destiny 1.
I'm here to protect humanity.
How do we stop this?
The stakes in the universe are rising, and it's the greatest challenge that we've ever faced.
We're shedding that dogma.
Dude, that's so sick though. They made the enemies use void.
Bad. We're really entering
Well,
the
like Cora.
abyss and trying to discern what's in front of us and what's lurking just underneath the surface.
Dude, the graphics and trailers always look so sick.
There are a lot of bombshells in the Witch Queen narrative. And that's just scratching the surface of what we're going to get into this year.
Light in the darkness, huh? Cool.
Witch Queen and Season of the Risen is chapter 1 and the beginning of the end for the Light and Darkness saga.
We're really getting to the core of what it means to be a guardian. We are looking at and asking big questions about the light and darkness.
We have a big bad that we've been anticipating for a really long time coming back in the form of Savathun.
Dude, you know, someone from my
that we've been involved with.
someone from my school used to work at Bungie.
Savathun for years and just bits and pieces, and then like you see it slowly building over seasons until we come to this huge critical point.
Savathun's no longer just someone you hear about.
She's not just interfering in little ways. She's now ready to take center stage.
Whoa, what is this?
1, 2, 3.
Savathun, she's larger than life. We wanted to make her feel imposing and very regal and dancing through motion in some way.
The light offers us a fresh start.
She's very manipulative. She is very ethereal, but she also has like that creepiness to her as well. She promised she'd help us
Dude,
out
all the guys on the
with
Zoom.
this pyramid ship problem that's
Dude,
coming
what
our
gun is
way.
that?
But the reality of the situation
Looks
is
sick.
Savathun is only on Savathun's side. We've outlived our purpose, and it is to Savathun's benefit to wipe us off that chessboard.
She's lived among us. She
No.
has played us for fools. She knows
No
us
way.
inside and out. And she's been a step ahead of us, like, the whole way. So how do you beat someone like that?
It isn't too late. You can still be forgiven. Be careful.
I'll hold you to it.
In order to
Oh,
beat
dude,
Savathun,
I
we
forgot about that
understand
cutscene.
Savathun.
Her throne
Dude, that
world
looks
is
sick.
the
The throne? Is that what he said? It's the throne. That looks sick. Oh my. Wow.
manifestation of Savathun's own personality, which is in Witch Queen going through a transformation through the light.
She has these areas that she's kind of trying to shun and push away. For the old hive areas, it's much more atmospheric, it's very dense,
Wow.
it's very claustrophobic, it's spooky.
Dude, Bungie always does such a great
And
job
when
with
you make your way into
graphics
the Lucid
and stuff
hive
like that.
area, it's a lot more open and broad. It's definitely
Look at
brighter, it's
that.
definitely more lively.
We want people to look at it like an impressionist painting. Something that's very pretty from far away, but as you get closer, it's not really what it seems. It's very unsettling.
Wow.
You're looking at
What gun was
shapes,
that?
you're looking at these things within the world, and you're not entirely sure what they are, and you have to get close and you have to investigate.
What's really going to be exciting for players is that they're going to get to play that part of psychic detective, trying to solve the many mysteries of the throne world.
Dude, what is that gun? That's new,
The Witch
right?
Queen campaign, I think, is probably the most ambitious campaign we've made in
Dude,
a
look at
very
that
long
outfit.
time.
That's pretty sick.
We're building the definitively Destiny campaign, so leaning into the journey you can find in exotic missions or the mechanics you might find in a dungeon.
You have to kind of think your way through. You have to figure out, like, hey, what do I need to do next in order to get to the end of this?
We've got Savathun, right? The Queen of Lies. So this campaign is full of surprises.
Savathun has all these abilities, and you got to make sure that all of the abilities
Whoa.
of the bosses
Arc?
be something worthy of her. And
No
as I kept
way.
thinking about this, you know, I felt like I was really becoming Savathun.
We've also added the
Campaign.
legendary difficulty, which is called Become Legend.
It's not for the faint of heart. It's gonna be loaded with these
A legendary
moments that are
version.
really frustrating, almost like teeth gnashing, but when you get through those encounters, you're gonna feel like really accomplished.
What is that on the? Is that like an eye? Like, oh, that's like an eye tracker. Like where he's looking.
Broaden that experience for any kind of player who comes in is really important.
Wait, so there's a legendary campaign? Is that what I'm hearing?
Psychic, detective, fantasy, and journey. Then Season of the Risen is that same detective throwing on their flak jacket and defending Earth from the Hive Guardians and the Lucent Hive and Savathun.
So thank you for the follow, Mike. We actually do raffles for the next series. So next is gonna be Jake, hopefully, unless he has to go to sleep.
I need us to hit them.
Dude, Zavala.
Technology that the Cabal were using in Season of the Chosen.
Dude, that's so sick though. Like all of the people just go together, man.
When you're working with
Eris,
It's a
Ikora.
different approach. It's not about asking questions, it's about getting in there and extracting.
We don't really understand what happened when Savathun actually was able to take light. So the campaign and Season of the Risen in many ways is about that story. Guardians need to stop Savathun's advance beyond the throne world. And Savathun poses an existential threat to everyone because she basically has an undead army.
Man, I hope there's some new like enemies though.
In fighting the Lucent Brood, this
Like I know
is
this is
our
like
first
Hive, but like
time
I hope there's
being
new enemies.
Fighting other light bearers, but it is the first time that we'll be facing other light bearers that have much more relentless motives.
Okay. I mean, okay, a Hive using Blade Barrage is sick.
Guardians, and when they do their abilities, you immediately make that connection. Like, oh, they are using my powers against them.
Dude,
as soon as we see the knight,
that's what I'm saying, bro.
And it has 2 shields. You immediately are like, oh yeah, I see that connection, and then it's like, and then you're like, it hits you with those things.
Dude, I'm literally, oh my gosh. I literally just said it's so sick to see them using like our abilities. And that like, that I wish we could see some new characters, man. They're like reading my mind here. It's like answering like rhetorical questions, bro.
It's ready to go. If you're not smart about it, if you're not paying attention,
Answering the what, how, and the why, man.
Going to have to play that fight over again.
If you're successful in taking down one of these Hive units that are wielding the light, you actually have to go up and kill their ghosts.
That was like one of my favorite things that we were able to do in this game is just that moment where you.
So each of them have a ghost.
The ghost.
It's kind of this moral dilemma.
Ooh.
A ghost is your companion, and now suddenly you have one in your hand and
Dude.
you're about to crush it.
The first time that happens, you're like looking at your hand like, I can't believe what I've just done. Am I doing this? Should I be doing this?
I have a ghost.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
What is going on?
Savathun and her Lucent Brood are the most dangerous enemies we've faced so far. And so we're going to need better, more powerful weapons and tools to fight against that threat.
Wow.
We did a bunch of work early on looking at various different types of weapons we could add to the sandbox.
We wanted to introduce a special weapon archetype that was effective more at a middle range, but also had these kind of additional roles associated with it.
Okay, that thing
The
looks sick.
glaive is a projectile
Glaive?
weapon, and it is a shield, and it's a melee weapon. We wanted to keep that
No
experience
way.
in first person. It has an immediacy that you don't really get when you're using a sword because the camera is so much further back. Because this is also a projectile weapon with a slower moving projectile, the onus
I
of
wonder how
skill
that's
on
gonna be
aiming
like in,
these
like,
weapons is
Crucible.
about leading and compensating for the speed of the projectile and anticipating that. If you're in a really difficult encounter and one of your teammates dies somewhere,
Dude, how did they
in the
get
open
ghosts
where
on
you
here?
normally wouldn't be able to get to them, you can bring that shield up and actually get the revive and then fall back.
Okay, that's sick.
Glaive
I feel like that's gonna be OP
originated
for like raids and
with
stuff.
Savathun trying to steal an extremely powerful weapon for her own use, and players will use the weapon crafting recipes that they find throughout the
Ooh.
campaign in order to reconstruct this incredibly powerful and incredibly ancient weapon.
When you put together your glaive in the campaign, you just get a
What's up,
taste
Star
of what you
Killer?
want to do for the rest of the weapons that you get.
Weapon crafting.
Dude, weapon
lets you
crafting
target
sounds so
a
cool, man.
specific role and go and build that, and you know how long it's going to take you to get there, and you get exactly the thing that you want.
I really want to see what
Yeah, so you don't even have to
people
worry about
think,
like God rules.
the
You can just
feedback that we're
grind.
gonna get,
But-
and
oh wait,
people sharing all of the things that they're doing.
you can
with
build
that
God
new
rules.
system.
You're creating your guardian, and you want to be able to shape your guardian into what you want them to be. And this gives us a great opportunity to continue
Wow.
to do that.
That looks sick.
This is a really big season for weapons in particular. We've got 8 brand new exotics.
That's what we like to see, dude. Content. I just realized Witch Queen's coming out like next week, right?
Sorrow, like Thorn and Touch Malice, fires swarms of tiny homing projectiles that land on a target.
Was it like 18th or something?
Poison burst. We have an exotic machine gun where the whole
2
idea
weeks.
is be the Colossus.
Still.
You can launch a barrage of up to 20 homing missiles.
It's a comical amount of projectiles on the screen.
What? That's literally Ward Cliff.
For each class this time, and the exotic perks tie deeply into the mechanics of the classes. We think they're going to be really cool additions to build crafting.
22nd? Oh,
The
okay.
usual suite of raid weapons, destination, activity, seasonal. I recounted it this morning, and I think it's about 50 new weapons.
50?
You're going to have 2 new exotic armors for each class, totaling 6, 1 stasis, 1 non-stasis. The Titan Stasis Exotic. Cast your barricade, and instead of, this Traveler's Light and the Rally Barricade, you create a giant wall of ice. Even though this thing is massive, you still get all the benefits of a Rally Barricade.
Oh, that's sick.
Warlock Void Exotic, we called them the Devouring Rift legs because we wanted Empowering Rift to feel like it had a place in endgame content the way that Healing Rift does. Empowering Rift doesn't heal you, well, what if it did?
Oh, wow.
In Season
That's
16,
cool.
you're going to see a massive revamp to the Void subclass system across all 3
Gonna grind
classes.
time for the Black
This is a
Templar
huge
drip?
update and will allow players to
I
build
see
craft
it.
in ways that they've never done before.
Oh, wow.
One of the things we wanted to
That
do
sounds like a lot of
is
grinding, though.
create a core set of verbs like we did with Stasis.
Anyone can run suppressors now. I think that's the pretty cool thing to be able
I'm going to
do.
be running suppressor grenade
Oh,
more
yeah.
often.
We wanted you to feel like you were the energy vampire, feel like you were the Night Stalker, feel like you were that protector, that big Sentinel Titan. So you're going to see things like Bastion, a new Titan aspect, where you take your big old Sentinel shield, slam it into the ground, and create this void barricade that's going to apply overshield to you and your buddies.
Wait, but you can do that as like a
My favorite
hunter?
aspect is probably Child of the Old Gods. As this
Or no?
warlock controlling space
No,
and
probably
time,
not, right?
I'm able to rip a hole into another dimension and then pull out this little like sentient black hole. Whenever I target an enemy, my little black hole buddy is going to fly over there and start draining their life force.
Wow.
The Void 3.0 update is really setting the stage for how we're thinking about updating subclasses for the rest of the year.
We're going to extend this philosophy to Solar and Arc. Solar obviously is going to be about burning, but there's this other component to Solar, and that's healing. Arc is all about chaining. It's all about lightning, direct attacks, quickness. We're going to take the fantasies that you know and love today. We're going to embellish them. So what you'll see is like all of the new abilities, all the new actions you
Dude,
take,
was that a warlock that
reinforce
just
to
threw a
the
bear
core. What you'll
or
see
a
is,
time
like,
shield?
all of the new abilities,
No
all
way.
the new actions you take, reinforce that to the core. Pretty exciting.
Witch Queen is very much the culmination of the last 6 to 7 years of just Destiny all together. And really, this is starting the road to the final showdown. But things aren't necessarily just dark and light anymore. There's a lot more nuance in the game.
It's going to be a real fight. Players have something that they're really going to be challenged by.
I can't wait for everyone to find out what's been going on with Savathun. Like, I'm excited.
You Guardians are so clever, aren't you?
From the throne world to the campaign to the customizable build crafting, it all comes together to make Destiny feel really new and fresh.
We've got more Destiny coming this year than any other year before. It's one of the most ambitious releases we've ever put together, and the team is firing on all cylinders.
Tell me, Guardian, what do you think you're going to do?
Wow. Oh, 222. Oh, okay. That's sick. Oh, I'm gonna get it now for sure. I mean, I was gonna get it either way, but wow. That's another reason to get it. That's really sick, honestly. I actually never saw that, even though it came out. That video.
Take that.
Yeah. That was pretty sweet.